Politico has an interesting story about insiders from the White House explaining how Donald Trump works. It is related to a number of issues he deals with, but in this particular case, they are talking about Charlottesville, Virginia, and his reaction to give you a sense of why he reacted in the way that he did. And now he has tripled down and basically shown moral equivalency between the people who committed the violence in Charlottesville and who were Nazis and alt-right and white nationalists and KKK, and the people that were there to protest Nazis. Okay, so they explain President Donald Trump's decision to double down on his argument that both sides were to blame for the violent clashes at a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, was driven in part by his own anger and his disdain for being told what to do. So on Saturday, he comes out and says both sides, many sides are at fault. Then he refused to say anything more, and he refused to call out the Klan or the Nazis or the white nationalists. For 2 whole days, we wait. Today in Barcelona, he called it out even before the authorities concluded what had happened. So he does not like to gather facts. That is not what he does. He likes to support his alt-right base. And so then on Monday, he finally put out a statement which he read from a teleprompter, and it was obvious that it was not genuine. He rotely read, oh yes, the KKK and the Nazis are bad, and then went away. Apparently, they advised him to do that, and it got under his skin. He didn't like that. It's like, I don't like being told what to do. I'm a white nationalist, and I don't want to denounce the white nationalists. So the next day, he called an impromptu press conference in Trump Tower, which you saw yesterday, and came out and said, no, I'm blaming both sides. So he was lying on Monday. He was reading from a teleprompter. That was his advisors who had written that for him and his lawyers, and he didn't like it. He wants to blame the people who were protesting Nazis in the Klan. He wants to blame them, and he did over and over again. He tripled down today. Politico story was written between the doubling down and the tripling down. Today, again, he drew the moral equivalency, again blamed the people who were protesting the Nazis. Okay, and by the way, were murdered. Politico continues, Trump's temper has been a constant force in this 8-month-old White House. He's made policy decisions after becoming irritated with staffers and has escalated fights in the past few weeks with everyone from the Senate Majority Leader to the volatile dictator of North Korea. So he's a child, we know almost all of this is you're gonna see his temper tantrums from this sad man-child that we have as president. Now, when he rips the country apart in a situation like Charlottesville, it's disgusting and deeply hurtful to the country. But if he acts this impetuously in the case of North Korea, it's not just our morality that's on the line, it is the lives of millions of people. I hope to God that the people around him do not follow unlawful orders if he gives them because his ego has been bruised. This guy is a danger to the entire planet. A White House advisor, one of his allies, the people that works inside the Trump White House, said, in some ways, Trump would rather have people calling him racist than saying he backed down the minute he was wrong, because he's a fucking child. That's why. And by the way, he doesn't mind being called a racist because he is a racist. Okay, back to the quotes. He says this may turn into the biggest mess of his presidency because he is stubborn and doesn't realize how bad this is getting. But that advisor works with Trump and is happy to work with Trump. So what he doesn't realize is, no, or what he doesn't want to admit is, Trump doesn't mind being a racist. You're thinking like, oh, it's getting really bad. It's getting really bad. Everybody thinks you're a racist. But that's your perspective, and I guess slight, upside for this Trump advisor. But to him, he's like, oh, we're getting really racist. And remember, this is the guy who challenged Barack Obama's birth certificate for 5 years. He was born in Hawaii. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He looks foreign to me. Okay, you think some idiots think that's not racist. He said, really? I'd like to see his college transcript from Columbia. How can this black guy get good grades? You want to say that's not racist? Okay. The Central Park Five. He put out a full-page ad about how they should be executed. Oh, he likes to gather the facts. It turns out they didn't do it. Turns out they didn't rape that white woman. And they were held in jail for all those years. Now they've been proven to be innocent. Okay, you say, oh, well, he got it wrong. And in that moment of anger, he spent all that money in a full-page ad attacking those kids. After they were proven innocent, he said, I don't care. I still think they should be in jail. But they're innocent. They served decades in prison. Someone else did it. We know who did it now. I don't care. Well, why doesn't he care? Because it isn't about the crime. It's that they're black. And he hated them for being black because he's a fucking racist. Okay, so now back to Politico. For Trump, anger serves as a way to manage staff, expresses displeasure, or simply as an outlet that soothes him. Because he's also a fucking child. Oh, that made me feel better. I got to yell at somebody. This moron of morons is our president. Negative television coverage and lawyers earned particular ire from him. I don't like to follow the laws. Why are you making me follow the laws? There's a specific example about that in a second. I don't like it when you criticize me. Grow up. You're the president, of course they're gonna criticize you. But I don't like it. Gotta get him out of office, you guys. Like, now there's a lot of people in the country who understand how dangerous he is and what a monster he is. But even those people, you're not getting it. The lives of millions of people are on the line. This man-child is gonna make a decision about whether to launch nukes or not in North Korea. We gotta get him out. We gotta get him out. White House officials and informal advisors say the triggers for his temper are if he thinks someone is lying to him, if he's caught by surprise. What is that? What do you mean caught by surprise? When somebody says boo to him? Okay, if someone criticizes him, of course, oh my God, if someone criticizes him. Or if someone stops him from trying to do something or seeks to control him. But I don't want to eat the broccoli. Why are you making me eat the broccoli? I'm really angry. It's fun and games until there's a million people dead in Seoul, South Korea. Okay, the president did not want to be told what to do and seemed in high spirits on Tuesday evening. This is after the insane press conference. Even as headlines streamed out about his seeming overtures to hate groups, according to one White House advisor who spoke to him. After that train wreck of a press conference where he doubled down on calling the people who were murdered the same as the people who did the murdering, he walked out in high spirits, thought, I nailed it. I did such a great job of defending white nationalists. The transgender ban. So why did he do that? You know that his own Secretary of Defense, Jim Mattis, said, no, please don't do it. We haven't studied it, we haven't gone through the right process. There's a process for how you make decisions in the government. The Coast Guard said they wouldn't enforce it was so illegal. All of his lawyers said, we have to follow a process, we have to do the rule of law. Remember how you said you were for law and order? So he got mad at them and he tweeted. So listen to this. The president had grown tired of White House lawyers telling him what he could and could not do on the ban and numerous other issues such as labor regulations, said one informal White House advisor. While multiple factors were in play with a transgender ban, Trump has grown increasingly frustrated by the lawyers' calls for further study and caution. So he took it upon himself to tweet out the news of the ban, partly as a reminder to the lawyers who's in charge, the advisor said. In other words, I don't care about the law. I've never cared about the law. You tell me that's the law? That's like your opinion, man. If I'm president, I get to do whatever I want. That's not how it works. You're not a dictator, you're not a king. Here in America, checks and balances matter, process matters, most importantly, the rule of law matters. By the way, if you didn't ever get the update on that, he tweets, oh, I'm banning all the transgender people. It's gonna cost so much. We did a story recently about actually it costs 100 times more to try to recruit new people to replace them. But more importantly, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs said, we're not doing it. It has not gone through the regular process. If he actually orders it and not sends it to me in a tweet and it goes through the process, then we will do it. But right now, that's not the law of the land because you have to follow the law. But he never believed in America. All those USA chants were just window dressing. He doesn't believe in our system of government. And he's too stupid and too childish to realize that he has to work with other people to get things done. God help us all if Kim Jong-un gets under his skin on the wrong day. Watch the Young Turks commercial free, download it or stream it, watch it any way you like at tytnetwork.com/join.